This is my November update for my Beauty A to Z project pan. I'm using my single shadows this year. I have a single shadow for every letter of the alphabet. I use them 5 times. I roll them out, I roll the next one in. This is a Pantastic Ladies collab. It was created by Jessica and Amanda. If you like watching eyeshadow project pans or just like talking about makeup, then stick around. Hi, I'm Andi. Welcome or welcome back. I'm really happy that you're here. Okay, I did not film this last month. I didn't film any of my project updates last month. There was a lot going on. I was sick, we went on vacation, there's just so many things. So I did not update any of my projects. So you're gonna hear that spiel a couple more times. But if you remember, this is the color story that was brought in September. So I'm going to tell you my usage. I'll tell you what's rolling out. And then we're going to pick more shades for one more month. Because at the beginning of December is the finale. I am doing a singles project next year, just not this one. And I'm still trying to iron out the details. We're going to, of course, start with the letter A, and that is Ashen Halo. This is a Devinah shadow. This has been in since June. I had one previous use on this. I have used it one more time since the last update, and so it is staying in for 3 more uses, hopefully. You guys, I am so out of practice, I'm not even swatching. Let me swatch. That is Ashen Halo, and it is gorge. It is absolutely stunning. For the letter B, from Sydney Grace, this was brought in September. I have the shade Belle of the Ball, and it is a warm brown shade. I have 3 uses on this. I need 2 more if I want to roll it out next month. We'll see. My first rollout is the shade Countess for the letter C, the shade Countess, also from Sydney Grace. And this was brought in also in September, but I got my 5 uses on it very, very quickly because this is a very Andi tone. It is a very muted, cool mauve and kind of a grungy mauve. Love it. It was so nice. Brought in August for the letter D is the shade Dreamsicle. This is a Makeup Geek shadow, and I had 2 previous uses up until the last update, and I have used it 1 more time. So again, that has 2 more uses before it can be rolled out. You would think, not updating this for 2 months, that I would have all of them rolling out. That is not the case. That is not the case. For the letter E, from Sydney Grace, I have the shade Eagle's Nest. That was also brought in September. And it is a beautiful brown shimmer, dark brown shimmer, chocolatey goodness. And yes, that is rolling out. I had used all 5 uses. I had all 5 uses since the last update. This was brought in July, the letter G, Gifts Galore. This is Get Me Glow. This is a beautiful shadow. I just don't wear tones like this very often. I did use this once since the last update. Look at that. It's like a red-based green, brown-based green. It is stunning. I love it. And I used it with a grungy green look. So grungy green mattes. It was lovely. So I only have 1 use on that. I don't know if I'll be using it 4 more times before the next update, but I'm going to try. For the letter H, we have the shade High Grade. This is a ColourPop single, and it was from the All Amethyst palette. And this was very easy to use. I have my 5 uses and then some, because this was a great inner corner shade. It doesn't have the shimmer that it once did. It's a little older, but it's still a beautiful shadow. So that one is rolling out. For the letter I have the shade It's Paradise. This is from the Lush Life palette, ColourPop Lush Life palette. As of the last update, I had 1 use on this. I have used it 2 more times since the last update. So I have 2 more uses before that can roll out. Now we're moving all the way down to the letter M, and this is the shade Moss, and this is from Sydney Grace. And this was brought in, I believe, last update. It was brought in the last update. I have one use on this. Matter of fact, I used this with the Gifts Galore, and it was so pretty. It is just a mossy green, just like the name. It is the mossy green, and it's really pretty, and it has a beautiful, oh, I've used it twice. You guys, I've used this twice. That's right. I used it with the Gifts Galore, and I also used it with the It's Paradise. That's right. Also, as usual, I want to mention this about halfway through the video before I come back with my new shades that we drew. I have a little video montage of some of the looks that I created using these shadows. Now we're going all the way down to the letter R. And for the letter R, I have Rich Chocolate. This is Give Me Glow. You can see the dip in that. I love this shade, and I was very excited when this was brought in. This was just brought in last update. I have my 5 uses on that. That is what it looks like. It's very similar to the Eagle's Nest, but this is has a little bit more yellow to it, I think. Then for the letter S, from Sydney Grace, we have Start Somewhere. This was brought in August, I believe. This was brought in August. I had 3 uses up until the last update. I have used it 2 more times since, and this is rolling out, and this is beautiful. Again, a very kind of grungy mauve, and looked beautiful with the Countess. And it's a very, very Andi shade. Also brought in August for the letter T, we have the shade Tucana, and this is a Devinah shadow. I had 3 uses before the last update. I have since used it the 2 more times. And so that is also rolling out. And it is such a beautiful gold to pink shift. I love that shade. It is one of my favorites. One of them. I have a lot of favorites. Brought in last update for the letter U, from Mercari Cosmetics, we have the shade Unicorn Moon Pie, and this is such a stunning shade. I have used this all 5 times. This was an inner corner shade for me. It is a beautiful inner corner shade. It has I don't know if you can see it. It has a pinky, like white, frosty, pinky flip to it. Man, I'm running out of room on my arm. Brought in May, clear back in May for the letter W, we have the shade Wicked Petal, and this is also a Devinah shadow. Now, I thought that I had 1 use on it way back when. I did. In May, I used it 1 time, and I have used it once since the last update for a total of 2 uses, which makes no sense because it's such a beautiful shade, but I'm just not a blue eyeshadow girly. That's what it looks like. It's beautiful. For the letter X, I don't have anything that starts with X, so anything that has an X in it goes in the X category. This is a shade Fairfax, and this is from the Off Melrose palette from ColourPop. And this was just brought in last update, and I got my 5 uses pretty quickly on this because it's really pretty. It has a little bit of a flippiness to it, but you probably can't even see it because it's basically the same shade as my arm. Okay, but I used it 5 times. So that is rolling out. We have 2 more shades. For the letter Y, from Devinah, we have Crystal Dusk. Crystal Dusk, yes. Crystal Dusk. Crystal. Had to get creative with that as well. Yeah, that was brought in last update, and it is kind of similar to Tucana in the fact that it does have a gold flip to it, but it's not as pinky as the Tucana. So that is what that looks like. It's more of a red, it's more of an orange gold, where the Tucana is more of a pinky to gold, pink to gold. And then finally for the letter Z, we have the shade Midnight Waltz. And that is Makeup Geek. This was brought in August. I didn't have any usage at all in August, but I got all 5 uses in September, or between, I should say, between now and the last update, because this was a great outer corner. Used it all 5 times. It is rolling out. So if you're keeping track at home, that is 10 rollouts. 10 rollouts. I should have 26 rollouts, but I do not. I do not. Wait a minute. Hold on. Stand by. I thought I used the shade Online, but I did not. I did not. I used it in August. I did not use it in September. So this is our color story. Our palette is looking a little stark, a little bare. So I'm going to grab my random number generator and I'm going to pick some new shades. Also need a drink because I haven't talked this much in forever. I'm batch filming today. I need to get caught up, you guys. I need to get caught up. I have my master list pulled up. I have my screen record on with my pretty random app. So let's choose some shadows. For the letter C, I have 23 shades that start with C. And let's see what we get. Shade number 16, and that is called Copperhead. ColourPop, I'm pretty sure. The next one is for the letter E, and I only have 8 that start with E. And that is shade 5, and that is called Electric Unicorn. Electric Unicorn. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is, but I was thinking I just had that in, but that was something else, unicorn, some other unicorn, whatever. And now I believe we go all the way down to R. No, we go to H. And I have 8 that start with the letter H. Shade number 2, Halo Shadow. That might be Devinah. It might be a Devinah shadow. Yay. Now we go all the way down to R. And I have 15. I have 15 that start with R. Shade number 3, that is called Refuge. For the letter S, we have 36. We have 36 shadows that start with the letter S. Shade number 9. Shade number 9 is Self-Care Moment, and that is ColourPop, and it might be a purple. I think it might be a purple because I think it's from the Lavish palette, but I can't remember. Letter T, we have 21 that start with the letter T. And that is shade 17. That is Troops. That is definitely a Sydney Grace. It's either a brown or a green, I can't remember. And then for the letter U, I have 8. Shade 2, Love That For You. That is ColourPop. That might be one of the ones that I actually bought as a single, but I can't quite remember. Okay, what's next? X, Y, and Z. So I only have 4 more for the letter X. And obviously I don't have anything that starts with X, like I said. So if it has X in it, it's in that category. Shade number 3 is called Pixie Sticks. That is also a Devinah shadow. And then for the letter Y, I have 11. Same rules apply if it has a Y in it, well, within reason. Shade number 7. Shade number 7 is called Mystic Frost. That is also a Devinah shadow. Very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. And then finally, for the letter Z, I have 9 that have Z's in them. And what is our final shade? Our final shade is shade 2. That is Bubble Fizz, also Devinah. Lots of Devinah this time, and that makes me very, very happy. Okay, you guys, I'm going to go get those shades. We're going to come back. We're going to discuss. Don't go anywhere. I'm back. I had some technical difficulties. The letter U, the one I chose, I can't remember what it was. Uncuffed. I don't have it. I must have decluttered it. And I randomly generated another one. I don't have that one either. But we'll talk about that when we get to it. But yeah, it took a minute. The first one that was chose for the letter C is the shade Copperhead. That is from the Lucky Penny for ColourPop. It is from the Lucky Penny 9-pan palette. And that is what that looks like. The second one that was chosen for the letter E is Electric Unicorn, and that is Give Me Glow. And it's beautiful. This one was on my list back when they had their larger pans. And you can't see the green flip, but there is a green flip to it. And I think that might actually look really good with the Give Me Glow Gifts Galore. I have a lot of fancy shadows in here this month, you guys. A lot of fancy shadows. For the letter H, it was Halo. That is also Give Me Glow. Looks very unassuming, doesn't it? But it's gorge. And that has a very light yellow shift to it. Then I went to R, and that is the shade Refuge, and that is Sydney Grace. And that is just a really pretty purple shimmer. It's nothing fancy, but it's beautiful. It is a very, very pretty purple shimmer. I will very much enjoy using that. For the letter S, Self-Care Moment, I was pretty sure that it was from the Lavish palette, and it is. It is so pretty. And that'll look great with the Refuge, and it'll look great with the shade Online, which is also from the Lavish palette. So those two purples will look beautiful together, even though this is a little bit more of a reddy purple, and that is a cool purple, but I'll still take it. And then the letter T, I had the shade Troops, and that is also Sydney Grace, and that is a very cool brown shade, which those are some of my favorites. So see that it's very close to the salt. What was it called? Start Somewhere. The Start Somewhere is a little bit more mauve. And then for the letter U, I finally got a shade that I have, and this is called Ultra Violence. And it's really freaking crazy. Like that is a purple blue. When I'm looking at it, it looks more purple, but it is a purple blue. For the letter X, Devinah Pixie Sticks. This is beautiful. That has a pinky flip to it also. And it is beautiful. It is beautiful. And then the next two are also Devinah. This is called Mystic Frost. I think that all these purples will look so good together. And that is Mystic Frost. My swatches have a lot to be desired today. A lot. And then finally, for the letter Z, we have Bubble Fizz. And this looks very white, but it is not. It has pink and yellow, and it's just so pretty. So we have a lot of that. No. Let's try to swatch something you can actually see. Okay, there we go. So a lot of topperish kind of shades for this month that will take us to the finale. This is the final look to the final, I guess you would call it palette, color story for 2025, because next month, like I said, is the finale. And we'll see how I did between November and December. Let me know if you guys are doing beauty A to Z. Are you getting down to the wire? Are you getting stuff finished, or your goals met, or whatever? Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I really appreciate you being here. And until our next adventure, everyone have a great day, and we'll see you later.